All right. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, gals and pals, holes, and welcome back. I am feeling better today. I was pretty tired yesterday. Oh my goodness, I am loud. Sorry, my appearance. Well, two things. My electricity bill last month was pretty expensive. It was $100, which some people that's like, what? That's nothing. But usually I try to keep it like in the 70s and stuff under that. But I've been running the PC a lot more and staying up at night, so electricity's been on. So lights are off, trying to save a little bit if I can. But I'm also wet because I just got out of the shower, so I'm soaked through a little bit. My hair looks greasy, but it's not. It's just water. It should dry off in a little bit. But I was tired yesterday. I played longer than I thought. I thought I'd last for like an hour before I started falling asleep, but I was having fun. So, yeah, that was yesterday's Resident Evil Village. And so I enjoyed that. Thank you for everyone that stopped in and stuff. And I would like to appreciate everybody. We've gotten, like, since I started streaming since a couple weeks ago in beginning of somewhere in February, gotten 10 new subscribers to the channel. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. So people, pretty much everything that I've been streaming and putting videos out for and stuff, people have been like, I'm not getting like 10 views and stuff like that. So people have been interacting with it, which is not sometimes like normally for like a newer channel, you'll get like 10 views here, 15 views, maybe 7 views. And then all of a sudden you'll get like 100 views or something. But like I've been getting pretty good average views, 70 views, 60 views. I've been getting people to stop in and watch a stream. So I appreciate everybody that's either coming back or stopping in for the first time. So thank you guys. Everything helps, everything. I just appreciate everybody that wants to hang out and stuff. So, all right, let's kick on through this. I think today we'll play some Great Britain. We just kind of got into rank 3. We've mainly got rank 3. We're almost done. Yeah, mainly in rank 3. So I want to say we want to order this, but I don't know what happens. I want to say we save up a little bit more civil alliance before we order that. So, but yeah, I wanted to play some Britain today. Sounds good. 15 missions. And we're a little earlier today, so probably we won't be going all the way until like the wee hours of the morning. All right, yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into the news. Well, I probably want to watch a debate today also. So just maybe not all the news. We'll watch some Nuxanor. I've been watching some on our own. I don't know if you'll mention it again, but big news for the U.S. We've taken out all of their pretty much prime leadership, but then Israel then went. They apparently the next like big religious leader, a lot of religious leaders and stuff, like 88 of the religious leaders and not military, but like religious and government leaders and stuff got together to try and elect the next Ayatollah. And they bombed the building and got all 87, 88 of them. So that happened today or yesterday. I don't know if it happened on the 3rd or the 4th. So it either happened late yesterday or today. But the news was like, they're talking about today. So yeah, that was pretty big. And like that's the major thing. It looks like maybe we're arming the Kurds to go in and help fight the IRGC. And maybe the Israelis are arming up. Like we don't have much as far as the news goes. We're not seeing much troop movement. Like they're not pushing a whole bunch of troops into the region as like ground troops. That is like you see versus boats versus like airplanes, boats, and those kind of things versus like hauling like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of troops if we're going to invade. It's like very different. It's very different what you see in movement and stuff, right? And obviously then they also have to call those people up and like people know like, yeah, if a whole battalion, like if battalions of people or whole large groups of people are being shipped over, then we know there's going to be an invasion, most likely, at the very least. But so far, like stuff like that doesn't seem to be happening. They might do it. They might do it suddenly. They might, they call them up overnight and then fly them over, and within 2 days they're invading. So, it might happen very quickly, but they're not doing it right now. But it looks like 100,000 reservists were called up in Israel. Apparently, it's been either leaked or told that we've been arming the Kurds, like very recently, or since the 12-day war last year, with weapons to help do a ground war or invade and get rid of the IRGC. So those are some things that I heard and saw beforehand. Obviously the Israel 100,000 reservists being called up is, I'm pretty sure, a fact. I think it's just maybe not rumor, but it's like it's from sound sources that the Kurds have been armed, and a couple other allies in the region, and they're going to be going in as well. So, but I think it's also factual. I think it's been confirmed that the building with the 87 religious leaders and other leaders and stuff was it was factual that they were in there and stuff. So that's good too. Like, more of their leadership they are totally leaderless. It's just like they're fractured and confused. Hopefully the army will make a deal and turn against the IRGC. If they do, we can get rid of the Muslim extremists, and the army can help pave the way for a new government. Like, the army can take over, kind of like they did in, I can't remember what, Nepal. I think it was Nepal that had like a civil war. They kicked the government out, and then Nepal just they just stood on they just made sure if there wasn't any more fighting. They stood on the corners and directed traffic and stuff. They just made things started to go smoothly, and then the government started to reform, and they brought in a new they kicked out their current government, and they brought in a new government. So it would be nice. I know this is a very different thing in the Middle East and stuff. So it'd be nice though if we could get the army to turn, convince them, hey, the Iranian people invading the country, taking the country, the Iranian people aren't our goal. Just get rid of the IRGC. We'll let you form a new government, and we're not here to kill you. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if there's communications with different factions or anything like that. But that's just some stuff I watch offline. So some heads up and stuff. But we'll see what's in some of these other videos. Of course, I watch a lot of non-mainstream news, because a lot of that is just BS. Now, sometimes you can get factual stuff, hopefully. But here, let's go ahead and watch this one first.
If the conflict lasts days or weeks, 76% approval.
Massive.
Now, let's be clear. That has been the stated goal of this administration.
It's coming through, so we're good.
If they don't achieve that goal, it means there's a miscalculation. And I would say that was a strategic mistake. But they've been pretty clear that their goal is for this to be swift.
I'll be honest. I'll give them. I would like it to be done in under a month, 2 months at the longest. Especially if we can get a new government that is not. And I don't think it's maybe not Muslim. Yeah, I would prefer not Muslim led, because a lot of Persians aren't actually Muslim. They're forced to be Muslim. So if we could get, at the very least, a non-theocracy, I don't know what they technically was, if it was a theocracy or what it was, but if we could get a more secular government, if we could get something more to what we had in the 1970s, we don't need the king, right? But at the very least, get the people being able to vote, right, for their own, and maybe even if they have Pahlavi, or whatever his name, if they have the king as a head, a figurehead, kind of like in the UK, and then they have a parliament that elects a prime minister or something, would be very nice. And if we can get something like that, that's like a huge win. At the very worst, we get a non-Muslim led government that has, either more secular or at the very least, like, I don't care if it's Zoroastrian or whatever, but Persian led, like Iranian Persian led. The 20% Muslim and stuff probably are going to have to go. There's probably going to be a lot of infighting, but the IRGC needs to go. The IRGC needs to go, and the Muslim religious sects and stuff have to go. So, and people are like, well, it's 90% Muslim. It's just not true. It's just not true. It's like, once the Muslims took over, they said, you have to be Muslim, and if you say you're not Muslim, we will kill you. And even then, reporting was there's still a lot of people going to Zoroastrian temples and stuff, and it was like up to like 60% of the people are still, I can't remember where I got that number, but it's like up to like 60% are still like, still follow Zoroastrianism over Muslim. Whether even if it's kind of like in like Japan, where people like aren't super religious, but they go to the temples and stuff as like a formality and like, because it's a cultural thing and stuff. I'd rather have that than the Muslim extremist stuff. Even like not even the extremists, but even just the Muslim stuff. So I'd rather have it so like people go to their temples and do what they do, because like I'd rather have that where like they go to the temple, they pray, they do their thing, but it's not Muslim. Like I'd rather have those Zoroastrians. And then you also have like the Kurds, and you have other smaller groups in there as well that make up like small, like 5%, 10%. And it was only like 20 or 25%, maybe even less of Muslim, like actual Muslim. So, all right. Yeah.
And it's to be short. Historically, as opposed to Iraq, when that is the case, campaigns militarily are unbelievably popular. Now, as far as Iran, a couple things. First off, it's time dependent as far as people's support for military action. Not everything needs to be.
I think it needs to get done under 2 months. Would be nice.
Legitimate comparison.
At the very least, we need to be out in 2 months. Let Israel,
3 months,
major stuff done.
3 months in of this war, if things
Israel
back to
and
the primary military operations, you always have
the other Arab and Muslim countries need to be primarily dealing with it after that.
This is why we'll lose the midterms. Okay, it doesn't mean that I think the guy should be impeached, but I will grant that to you. I don't think this is going to go beyond 3 months. I think it's going to be short. I think it's going to be effective, and I really hope for the sake of the country that I'm right, because even though that shouldn't be the required timeline, it is as far as public support as we go into midterms. 3 months. You guys let me know if that's reasonable.
Start off with the typhoon.
You can comment below. The widespread narrative out there right now, if you believe this, you've been propagandized a little bit. This war is going to sink President Trump. And I don't even want to say war, this military action intervention is going to sink President Trump. It is a foregone conclusion. That's what you're told.
Bush had his Iraq war. Trump now has his Iran war.
Donald Trump's war with Iran is already wildly unpopular with the American people.
Like, the only people that we have, like, the grifters, like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, those are the only people, and they're just sowing discontent and along with the left. Like, you can't even, I don't know what the hell Tucker Carlson is. Like, it's just whoever pays him, I guess. He seems to be one of the biggest grifters. I don't ever watch or pay attention to Megyn Kelly, but obviously she seems to be on the same kind of thing, just whoever pays. Turn it down a little bit. That engine is like super loud, which is weird. Options, sound. Nice shot. But like Tucker Carlson should probably be, he's gonna either get super sued or in jail. The fact that he blatantly lied and said that Israeli spies were caught in Qatar, caught in Saudi Arabia, and then Qatar came out and even said, no, we caught Iranian spies in Qatar. Like, they blatantly came out and said, no, we didn't find any Mossad. Tucker Carlson said there was Mossad agents trying to sabotage stuff in Qatar, and then they blatantly came out and said, nope, we caught Iranians. Like, he is just blatant. Like, he is just one. Like, the Israel, like the Israel blame train is like people just making shit. I mean, they always did this, but at the same time, it's just like all of a sudden, like Tucker Carlson's just, I swear someone's paying him. And it's not even Qatar. Everyone's like, oh, he's in Qatar's pocket and everything, and then Qatar is just like we didn't even pay him to do that one. So, like, I know Alex Jones is a big conspiracy theory guy, so I don't even know what he's saying. Like, these whole people like, oh, I hate war. It's like, if all it is your thing is just I hate war, then like, you need to grow up. You just need to grow up. Like, sometimes you need to punch the bad guy, or you need to take the bad guy out. It's just being like, no war at any cost. You know, like, the bad guy, you got to wait until the bad guy kills your people first. I mean, that's just stupid.
And Republicans are already facing a very difficult election cycle, and now it seems like, at least in the short term, they're all going to be defending something that...
I don't think the Republicans are really forcing a difficult election cycle.
When Trump made a promise,
Unfortunately, the only thing is, I think there's a mixture of infighting because of
to his people.
No, that's not true.
Charlie Kirk's
That's not
death,
true.
which is very unfortunate, but
you don't do a little bit of fact check. Donald Trump, we ran that video yesterday. 1980 talked about intervention with Iran. Reiterated it 2004, 2008. They try and pull a bait and switch and go, he was saying we'd be great negotiators. Let me ask you this. Can you negotiate with psychopaths if you are not willing to go to use of force? How do you enforce it at a certain point when you're dealing with lunatics? So part of the negotiation is this option has to be on the table. Now,
how is this not negotiation also?
Right.
I mean, they're still going to have a regime. If they still have their own government, they're still governing their own, it's still Iran, then, I mean, this is a negotiation. Hey, we killed the other guy that was in charge. Now you're in charge. Do what we say. Or... Yeah,
well, we just keep killing their guys, so that's the most fun part. It's like, we present to you the newest, and he's gone. All right, next one. So, generally, I will tell you this. Americans, they're split. They're not thrilled about it. But, and I would say this to those on the right who are doom and gloom, overall it's 44%. But with Republicans, it's 85%. Democrats, 10%. That's what throws it off. So, if you are a conservative, if you are a national...
The thing is like, I don't think anyone... Okay, if someone is like, yeah, we need to go to war, like, it's because they have a vested interest. I don't want to go to war, or I don't want to fight people. I don't want to do this. But unfortunately, there's something called bad guys in the world. There just are. There's just people that want to hurt other people. Like, it's just a fact. And, like, it's just stupid to be like, you know, if we just leave them alone, they'll leave us alone. That's just the most ignorant, stupidest, retarded thing ever. And so, and yeah, I don't want any of our guys. I like the fact what Trump's doing, and, like, the fact that we just didn't send our troops in immediately. And I think his stuff is a lot smarter. Oops. That was an AI, wasn't it? It's a lot smarter. Like, he doesn't like sending in ground troops, which makes it so a lot more, you know, a lot of people live, which I'm very thankful for. A lot more targeted stuff over just throwing everything at the wall. And I think he allows his generals, he allows his military to do what, you know, he lets them do what they're meant to do, rather than restraining them, which happens a lot of times in war. Instead of, they don't let the politics, he doesn't let the politics gum up the works. He just lets the military do what they think is the right thing.
If you are a Trump voter, just know that you are out of step with 85% of the voting base with President Trump, and you are in line with Ro Khanna and Elizabeth Warren and the left. It doesn't mean that the left is always wrong about everything. It just means that that's who you've decided to link arms with. I want to be really clear about that. So examine it pretty thoroughly, because you do have to ask, why? Where else has the left been right? Where they're in tremendous support or disapproval of a given policy that you would say, yeah, that makes sense. Abortion, LGBTQ, ICE, the border, taxes, Second Amendment, First Amendment. Name me one other issue where you would have 90 to 80% of Democrats in support or against, where you would be in line with them. I can't think of one. And I'm not saying that that means or it determines what is right. I do think it's a pretty important indicator. Here's the thing that people aren't telling you. And this matters because we've had a lot of, we've been involved with a lot of military interventions that aren't just Iraq. The polls change dramatically. The support changes dramatically when you take this poll, when the survey takes into account duration of conflict.
They don't necessarily think this is going to be a short conflict. Look at this. A lot of people think it might take months. Some people think it might take years, and there are.
I mean, it's pretty much split evenly. A quarter think it's going to be days or weeks. A quarter think it's going to be months. A quarter think it's going to be years, and a quarter's not sure.
A lot who are not sure. Now, the reason that is important is if you think it's going to be a long conflict, months, even years, look at how the numbers tilt toward disapproval of it overall.
They just skim past that. No, but hold on a second. Look at approval. If the conflict lasts days or weeks, 76% approval.
Massive.
Now, let's be clear. That has been the stated goal of this administration. If they don't achieve that goal, it means there's a miscalculation. And I would say that was a strategic mistake. But they've been pretty clear that their goal is for this to be swift and it's to be short.
To be honest, like, I don't know what they... I know what they want, but then if they want to get a... It's going to be interesting to see what they can get in weeks. When they say weeks, so does that mean a month? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? Because if they're going to send in ground troops to get rid of the IRGC, or if they're going to somehow prop up, like, who are they going to get rid of the bad guys that won't allow, like, because we still have forces in the area that are going to uphold things against us, right? But maybe they have something in line. I don't know. It just things tend not to work the way you want, and like, and what's months? Is months 4 months, 5 months? Like, what is months? Like, what's weeks and months? Because like weeks can go into months, right? Does weeks mean like 3? Like, does it have to be under a month? Like, that's why I would be like 2 months. Like, 2 months would be a good time frame. But then like I wouldn't have even given a time frame. I'd be like, this is our goal, like this is our stated goal, and like, I mean, like, these are like, this is the things we want done, and then until then, you know, this is what we're doing.
Historically, as opposed to Iraq, when that is the case, campaigns militarily are unbelievably popular. As a matter of fact, you seldom find this kind of unifying data anywhere else. Let me give you some examples. Grenada, 63%, it was 51 days. Panama, 77% support, it was 55 days. Desert Storm, 77% support, 42 days.
I don't even think of Grenada,
it was 78 days.
I wonder what happened
just so you know,
in Grenada.
while Iraq was going on, in the early days, it had 71% approval.
51 days? Because that seems,
be short, like
that seems like something
examples
that could
I
happen.
listed.
Right.
Not all of them are Iraq.
Because I think Grenada was also regime change, wasn't it? I think. Panama or Grenada was regime change.
It's kind of an outlier, just like Vietnam.
I think that's more reasonable.
Which is why it's often
but
a study.
that was also like, what, in the 80s?
It's an outlier.
Like 80s, early 90s. So that's a very...
The media was reporting those patriotic...
War is very different
positively.
now.
patriotically, American interest. They were actually being honest about their reporting, calling balls and strikes to a much larger degree than we see today.
Right.
Very obvious what the media is saying today, just to damage Donald Trump.
You can even look at the first military action. People telling you World War III would get overwhelming support when people saw what was accomplished. You can look at what happened in Venezuela. These things do matter when people are trying to tell you all is lost. It's all done for because it's another never-ending war. The strongest evidence that we have, nothing is a guarantee, is that this will not be a very long-term war. And I will tell you, I would not support a long-term war. If it looks like Venezuela, if it looks like the first uranium enrichment facility strike in Iran,
we lost. If
it looks like, has this been called, is it Operation Fury?
Epic Fury.
Epic Fury. That kind of tells you Epic Fury means hellfire, one big shot. If it looks like that, I'm going to trust the people who I'm in line with.
The problem is if we just go in there, hit everybody, like we need to get, like I know like freeing the Iranian people isn't like the primary, right? But if we just go in there, bomb them, and then allow them to have another Muslim extremist government to come out of it, we just going to go back in there and bomb them again. Like, even if it takes a little bit longer, we need to get rid of the Muslim extremists. Like, you know, we need to get a more friendly, or at the very least non-Muslim group in charge that's not going to either aid China or going to, you know, be just spastic attacking and trying to get a nuclear weapon. So if we're just gonna keep letting the Muslims come back, it's like, oh, the IRGC is still there and they still have Muslim extremists in the government taking over, and it just leads up to another Ayatollah coming into power. Are we just gonna go in and bomb again? Like, how many times are we gonna bomb? I understand, like, we don't send troops in, sure, but then people are just going to get sick and tired of also, you know, another Ayatollah. Okay, we're going to bomb them again. Another Ayatollah. Okay, we're going to bomb them again. Like, we need to like get the infrastructure so that another guy just doesn't come back. I mean, that's why, like, the people there, like, that's why, like, I think arming the people there, like, the civilians need to fight. Civilians need to do their own dirty work.
90% of the time, as opposed to being in line with 90% of Democrats. That is the deduction that I kind of have to make because there is some incomplete information out there. We don't know how long this is going to go on. But in the interim, as long as this is days and weeks, what's the downside to being in line with the general American public and to not giving the left fodder? Because if you give them any ammo, guess what? They're going to load their coffers, and they're going to save them for a rainy day and use that ammo on LGBTQ, on Second Amendment rights, to strip you of everything. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, when did we start putting expiration dates on wars? You see what I'm saying? How about growing up, America? It's a very fluid situation, as they say.
Right.
And in the end, it's good for you, unless you don't believe that. So what do you give a shit if it takes 6 weeks or 6 months?
Yeah.
And you go, well, Trump promised. Yeah, he has to, because you guys are babies. You want, seriously, American public, you're like 5th graders. You want everything tied up in a bow, just like when you watch Law and Order.
Well, he didn't get it done in 2 weeks. He didn't get it done in 2 weeks. Boo-hoo.
It's always the white guy.
Nice. Of course. It's fucking Wolf, Dick Wolf.
Yeah.
Propaganda. Right. Anyways, but you get my point? Grow up.
I do.
You want everything with a bow on it. And you people on the right, are you shitting me? This guy hasn't done enough in the last year for you to back him to the hilt. He's taken a bullet in the face and had his life threatened how many times? Give him a little slack.
Yeah.
They won't because of Israel.
Yeah, but here's my Israel take on that. Did it ever, I love this whole thing that, Bibi's playing Trump.
He's cooking.
Bibi's playing Trump like a violin. You ever think that maybe our long-term interests intersect and we're getting stuff out of it working with Israel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if Israel wasn't even in it, the Iranians would still be maniacs and threaten to kill us. Yeah. Because the Islamic, they want to take over the world. That's their long-term goal. Right. Right? Yeah. So even if Israel wasn't there, we're going to have to deal with them at some time. Mm-hmm. So why not deal with them when you have somebody on your side like Israel for now? Yeah. And then if Israel, it turns out that they were trying to fuck us, we take care of them.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I heard an interesting theory.
You just did. That's from me. I didn't read it. I didn't fucking get it off a website.
And it's very in line with what we were talking about yesterday. I said it's not the Jews have an interest. The myth out there is only the Jews have an interest. I go, what? Since when? Since when do only the Jews?
Right.
That's the. And I don't think we should be doing Israel study. I completely agree with you.
I agree with that.
At this point in time,
But
there's no evidence to suggest we are.
That's all.
Yeah. No, it's a bang on. Now we're going to clip that. That was.
Please. Maybe I'll put it on my show.
Absolutely. Yes. Sorry, Josh. What were you going to say?
Oh, the interesting theory I heard was that there's a possibility that Trump knew that Netanyahu was planning to possibly send a nuke towards Iran.
That's right.
And the action of, hey, let's do this together, and let's hit, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
It might have been something that saved, a real nuclear fallout or war between Israel and other people.
I want to have this conversation with you. We'll take it during chat. Do you accept? I do believe in transparency with the administration as far as, $500 billion a year in fraud, illegal immigration, SNAP, EBT, Social Security. But I do accept that militarily, there will be information that cannot be given to me.
That's right.
Do you agree with that, or do you think that makes someone a lackey or a patsy?
Or a bootlicker? No, I don't think so.
That's what you have a lot of people saying.
That's a good point.
I do accept that, and you can go back to me in 2000.
Yeah, I dislike, I don't trust the government. I don't like having healthy distrust of the government, always a good thing. But I dislike this thing of people acting like children nowadays, where every little thing is just you chose somebody, you elected them, just let them do what you think, unless they do something super egregious. And it's he's been, and the other thing too is he's been stating since the very beginning, he said it you could probably pull out at least 50 times he said it during his campaigning, that he said Iran can't get a nuclear bomb, Iran can't do it was obvious that if Iran even got close to anything like this, that he was going to have to we were going to deal with them. So the fact that people are oh, he betrayed us, just stupid.
2009 saying that's not new.
Yeah, some military operations, the guy who works at Lowe's doesn't need to know.
Right.
Hey, just let me know if I need a 4x4 or a 2x4. Yeah. What do I need to build a Porsche?
Yeah. Let's get Ilhan Omar's thoughts on that. No. She used to be calling her brother, get out now.
She's still in the country.
So here's the best information that we do have, and this administration has been, I will say, in communicating on this work far better. Certainly Marco Rubio, the White House comms team, can be on a clipboard, and the Secretary of War, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Hey, one other thing too. You notice no one's calling him a Fox News morning host anymore? You know why? Because he's really good at killing people.
Yeah.
He's an artist. Some paint with watercolors, pastels. His is death.
Yeah, where's his experience? He doesn't have any experience.
After watching him, I wouldn't get in a fight with Steve Doocy.
Okay. Parameter. Okay. I don't know if that's code for something. Just posting random words in chat. Cool.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. You decide to screw around. You find out you look like a Jackson Pollock painting by the end of it. That's Pete Hegseth. No one's calling him Fox News morning host anymore. But they move the goalposts and so many people go squirrel, and you chase it around. So the best indicator we have as to the plans of this war, what missions, to which missions are we tethered? This Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has made it pretty damn clear. Here's an update that if we are all American, look, wherever you line up on the action taking place, these are tidings of great joy.
I liken Iran's predicament to a football team who scripted the first 20 plays of a game. The team knew what plays to run because their first few drives were scripted. But now that the game has started and the blitz is on,
dude, what's up with one of my flaps?
Let alone how to get in the huddle and call those plays.
Easy.
Iran's senior leaders are dead.
How was he out turning me?
Oh, might have selected a successor, dead, missing, or cowering in bunkers, too terrified to even occupy the same room. Senior generals, mid-level officers, enlisted ranks, they can't talk or communicate, let alone mount a coordinated and sustained offensive. That's not great for morale. The Iranian Air Force is no more, built for 1996, destroyed in 2026. The Iranian Navy rests at the bottom of the Persian Gulf.
How did he set him on
Combat
fire?
ineffective,
Dude,
decimated, destroyed, defeated. Pick your adjective.
I love it. And then he went on to look. There are some pretty strong indicators. Some would call them positive trends. We have complete and total control of the skies in Iran. He detailed how that came to be.
In a few days, in under a week, the two most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means. It means we will fly all day, all night, day and night, finding, fixing, and finishing the missiles and defense industrial base of the Iranian military, finding and fixing their leaders and their military leaders. Looking up and seeing only U.S. and Israeli air power every minute of every day until we decide it's over. And Iran will be able to do nothing about it.
And I should also mention, like in many wars, they're also dropping propaganda leaflets. There you go.
Oh, there's some positive news.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, finding and fixing, was the thing this morning. Fixing means stopping them maneuvers.
Yeah.
It means that they are unable to move. They are in place. They're unable to attack. So if you don't know what that meant,
not like it.
This is also why this is something too that's important. If you believe that there's any type of threat that the United States faces, okay, the language that in a regime like the Islamic Republic, they only speak one: power. These people are willing to die, right? They're suicidal maniacs. They're not willing to be embarrassed. That's a far scarier prospect to them. So mocking them mercilessly and talking about how impotent and powerless they are, that is important. And there are more numbers, by the way. Check the references, link in the description as we do every show. Let's look at their ballistic missile launch rate. On Saturday, it was 350. Sunday, 175. Monday, about 120. Tuesday, 50. Some would say that's a consistent trend. Drones are down about 73%.
they should go to hims.com.
Someone get some Bluetooth.
Maybe some goats.
Well,
Please, Gerald, that's inappropriate. People,
At least he turned around and we can get him.
now, look, that's not to say, and this is the thing too, where people will say, of course, we don't want boots on the ground. We don't want Americans to die. No one wants Americans to die.
Shouldn't have turned around, buddy.
And by the way, I do believe that even when Barack Obama had to make this, I think he was the worst president possibly ever. I don't think that he wanted Americans to die when he took military action. I don't think that any commander-in-chief wants that. But I will say there has been tremendous care taken with this administration to mitigate loss of life in a way that is unprecedented. It doesn't mean that those who have lost their life, I'm not going to do what Megyn Kelly or what that military wife did and say that their lives were lost in vain or in service of Israel. We've lost 6 service members at the time of this broadcast, including, and I want to make sure I get their names right, Sergeant First Class Nicole M. Amore from Minnesota, Sergeant First Class Noah L. Tegens of Nebraska, Sergeant Declan Cody of Iowa, Captain Cody A. Cork of Florida. 2 have not been named as of the showtime. We don't want to leave anyone out. Thank you for your service. And I have no idea if these people supported this action. Stats would probably say that they did. I have no idea how they voted.
Stats would probably say that they supported their duty.
Yes.
Yes.
They might not support every war. We don't know everything.
No, we don't know everything.
Especially them, they're doing it before we even find out about it. They support what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you take your oath, you should be aware things are going to come up that
Yep.
you can't control, but you're in a hierarchy and you.
Yeah.
And most of them mean it.
Right?
Yep. I don't care how they
That's right.
voted.
That's
I don't
right.
care what their views were. They gave, I think we should all be able, if we want to find common ground, they gave their life in their duty to this country.
Yeah, it's always.
That's any war.
I think it's disgusting when they speak in the name of for the soldiers. Oh, is this what he was probably talking about?
Is your husband okay with this risk?
It is very obvious to a lot of service members and military families that this has nothing to do with protecting Americans.
Show us, don't tell us.
Yeah.
Everything that we tell you today, we're going to show. She shows nothing other than neck fat. Let's go to white women, because I think you're not angry enough at this point. White, suburban, liberal women. Here is a wife of an active duty soldier currently serving overseas. This woman went to TMZ to bash President.
If I was her husband, I would like immediate divorce. Be like, shut your fucking mouth, or immediate divorce.
Trump on behalf of her husband, which I'm sure, being actively deployed, he's thrilled about.
Is your husband okay with this risk? And obviously you're upset about it. It's very clear you disagree with President Trump's decision to start this.
That's why you have her on, asshole.
Do you know how your husband feels?
He's also not happy, and I will say,
because you
more
wait.
than any other decision that any commander-in-chief has made, in his entirety being in the military, more service members are being vocally upset about this than we've ever seen before. But it is very obvious to a lot of service members and military families that this has nothing to do with protecting Americans. This has everything to do with distracting from this
you want to protect us the buffet
performance at home. And what we aren't okay with, what my husband isn't okay with, is risking their lives to serve that distraction.
Somebody stuff a Salisbury steak in her mouth and get her to shut up. Crying out loud.
I like how you choose not a good steak.
So,
the name stovetop stuffing.
The name of the person. Kendall Brown, obviously.
Nice shot.
Let's look at the job history of this person. Kamala Harris campaign
Snipe
was
me.
the digital rapid response amplification strategist, because that's a real thing.
Ooh,
Was involved with
loser.
the Hillary 2016 campaign, deputy digital director.
Loser.
Mom's first organization.
She worked for Hillary. All right. Automatic disqualification for any opinion.
Digital director. It's a leftist group, just to be clear, pushing this sort of like nanny state under.
Yeah, they just got one of their own leftist, like
nuclear family is a byproduct.
She's worked for all these leftist organizations. The news just went and got one of their own leftist people. This is like the news, like that incestuous relationship they have with the incestuous relationship they have with government and stuff. It's just they just went like, oh, we need somebody with an opinion that we agree with on this, so we'll just go find someone in the government that has, that's it. That's all they did. They're like, I know somebody that's a leftist, that's got a husband in the military, and I can get her to say whatever we want.
Of patriarchy, so you have to destroy it because we need more single moms. The Hope Not Hate campaign or organization, it eludes me right now. Digital director, Muslim Advocates, another group, senior digital strategist, pro-Islam sort of lawfare group. So this person was just brought on, this person was just speaking on behalf of her husband. And by the way, if she tells you more and more people in the military speaking out are furious about this, like, okay, here, I've always said this is what we try and do with the show. This is why go check the references. We provide them every single program. Show us, don't tell us.
Yeah.
Everything that we tell you today, we're going to show. She shows nothing other than neck fat. And in case you needed more proof, here is her TikTok. I'm sorry that I have to subject you to this. We are live 11 a.m. Eastern every day of the weekdays, so you can subject yourself to more of this, but you need to know what the other side is saying. Here's her TikTok.
Dude, how did he get onto me faster than I could get onto him?
Crashing the U.S. economy. There's almost certainly going to be a huge
I call
influx
just
of
bullshit.
people who
I
are
call
growing
huge
victory
bullshit.
gardens or
She looks
food
like
gardens for the
pre-Ozempic
first
Bambi's
time.
mom.
The food stamps ending on November 1st for hundreds of thousands of families due to the government shutdown.
Doesn't she have
A
kids
lot
to
of
take
people
care
are
of?
likely going to turn
You got
to
a
much
ring in
more
your nose.
desperate
I'm not
means
taking
to
anything
feed
seriously.
themselves and their families. Welcome to part one of a series I hoped I'd
And
never
welcome
have
to the
make.
Olive Garden,
How to
all you can
safely
eat
dump
fucking
diet for
breadstick.
This is who they got to talk on the fucking... They got someone who's teaching you how to dumpster dive for groceries. Like, this is why you don't hate the media, the news enough.
Buffet,
She said dumpster diving. She can't get in a dumpster.
All right, hold on. I want to see the last thing she says here.
Any chance of stopping it, we have got to figure out how to connect
Like, she doesn't need a dumpster dive. She's fat enough. She can miss a few meals.
with more reasonable moderates and conservatives and get them to stand shoulder to shoulder with us on fighting this. I have a question for white conservative parents in the United States. Have y'all picked out your son's coffins yet? No, seriously. Have you stood in the showroom and run your hand over the smooth wood, trying to decide if cherry or oak will look better when it's covered by a flag? Have you picked the song you'll play while you bury a boy who still has his baby teeth in your attic somewhere? You won't
Joke's
get to
on you,
pretend
mine
it
are in a
wasn't
satchel.
Your ballot, your shrug, your silence, your cheering on pointless cruelty.
Oh, your voice
that sent your
is giving me a
child
lump in my
over there.
nut.
You applauded when the commander-in-chief lit new conflicts like disposable matches. ICE would force
Here you
Mary
go.
to
Listen to
give
this.
birth in shackles. They demand
Mary.
to see paperwork as contractions ripped through her body. They'd tell her to sit, then to kneel,
She's a nut job.
then not to move. They'd separate her from Joseph. The baby would be labeled unaccompanied. He would be placed in a holding facility, not
Like, just utter nut job.
under the star.
And I love it when leftists love to tell Christians, like, what, you know, what would happen to Jesus, like, you know, what Christians should do. It's like, just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. You're not a Christian. Shut up.
Of Bethlehem, but under
You murder
fluorescent
a million
lights that
kids a
never-
year.
You're a good writer, you fat.
Throw trans folks under the bus. We just need to find ways to defend them
She's
that
terrible.
appeal to at least one of the foundational values
my
that
language.
make up conservatives' morality.
Yeah, Mary would be arrested because revisionist history has ICE agents arresting baby Jesus, according to the left. There you go. He still has murder.
Oh, is that what that is?
By the way, what is she? She's describing a hospital like under fluorescent. Like I don't know if you've been to many.
I think she might be describing an ICE facility.
Yeah.
Either that or a hospital, but they don't keep the lights on for the babies.
I mean, unless she's talking about like the heat lamps. Is she talking about like the incubator?
No, she's not that clever.
Even if all
He's
that
got
is
no
true,
fucking wings.
Yeah, even if that is true, like, have you been to a manger like 2,000 years ago?
I am just getting
modern
all the
hospitals
crap tonight.
Are positively pleasant in comparison. I would prefer either an ICE facility or a hospital. Also, something else that she mentions there, and this is really important. This is important because you see people right now wanting to abandon the conservative movement, the America First movement, Christian nationalist movement, the president who has turned this country around.
I just
in a lot of
died to
ways
somebody with
isn't
no
perfect.
wings.
You have a lot of these people saying, I'm going to stay home during midterms. And
He was able
this
to
isn't
turn
what
better than I
voted
could.
for. And people like this are waiting on you. They're hoping that you do that. You heard her say, we need to find the reasonable conservatives, the moderates, and stand shoulder to shoulder with them. If you stand shoulder to shoulder, I mean, you stand hip to hip, you stand roll to roll, really,
Yeah,
or your
exactly.
shoulder to her roll. With this person, you're standing shoulder to shoulder with someone who's pro-LGBTQAIP, including transitioning, I believe, children, pro-illegals, anti-ICE, pro-abortion, all the way up until and including birth period, pro-universal health care, anti-Second Amendment rights. She believes in defunding the police. She believes in
that was so
justice
close.
reform, which includes no cash bail and letting violent offenders out in the
Come on,
name
get
of
him, bud.
justice. So just be careful who
Get him?
you stand shoulder to shoulder with, because these people
Dive
will
in.
want to try and present you with this idea of moderation. But make no mistake, someone like that is the enemy if you want to preserve this country.
Are we all going to just, like, gloss over the fact that Mary was a citizen of Israel? Would have had no problems in her home country?
Good point.
Would have never... I don't understand.
I wish I knew the Bible.
Are they talking because she's in a different town?
I don't know. Maybe.
Like they think it's like someone from Atlanta in Savannah, and they have to be.
They were ordered to go back for the census. Like, she would have been totally fine.
Yeah, she would have like no habla Aramaic.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things like River to the Sea, you know, Palestine would be free. I think
okay.
like it was always
But-
Palestine or something. Like,
I don't know.
My question is, what kind of soldier would marry somebody like that?
yeah. Also,
That's the
implications.
question. She didn't just turn like that overnight.
Right. That's a good point.
I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be
Please.
surprised at what some of these guys are marrying.
Well, also he could get in some hot water for the kind of thing she says.
Yeah,
That's
no.
right. I hope he does.
Not necessarily like legal trouble, or you know, losing a rank or something like that, because you know that he has to say it himself. If he did say something himself, it would be a serious problem. But there could be like minor problems, like there could be issues where people see it in his chain of command. And they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, looks like your promotion board's coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I might have to miss that one.
Or they just put up
Oh, shoot. Might have to put Firestein up instead, you know?
Put up her TikTok and every time he walks by, just go, come on, guys.
That's her middle name.
Come on, guys. She's not that bad. Like she's
the
bad.
worst.
Absolutely that bad.
Yeah, you can't. First of all, you can't be that fat and ugly and be that cocky.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You really can't.
Yeah.
She's got nothing off the wall. She's she's stupid. See it.
Yeah, I'm far less
And
arrogant.
don't drop that or block it, whatever you're doing, Bill.
We cannot. We can't. This is live. It's a live show.
I don't care. There's ways of doing that. I learned from the Jews. They hacked into your shit.
So did Iran. Oh, you're still here, which is a miracle in the age of Instagram and shorts. I think you have some shorts up there. You have an attention span that is longer than that of a fruit gnat. So thank you. I'm glad you probably would like it a lot more if you actually head over and subscribe on Rumble. I'm live there 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, where free speech is still alive. Go to Rumble. Get off the social media ghetto that is YouTube. With a lot of homosexual activity here on YouTube. There may be some on Rumble, but I haven't seen it.
What? You gotta be joking me.
World of sea battle is a boundless ocean where a captain may carve his own destiny upon the tide.
Dude.
Set forth across vast waters where every voyage tests your resolve and every broadside echoes your ambition.
Dude!
Your honor, your cannon, your voice, your hull, your shield against the fury of storm and foe alike. Fit her as you will. Strengthen her timbers.
I am so fucking mad. This is apparently tonight. It is just going to be like, we're just going to start off by getting you so fucking pissed off.
Secret passages through perilous seas and stand against rival captains who hunger for dominion.
Apparently, I'm missing by like
and let your colors be known
millimeters.
from harbor to horizon. Such is the
I'm
life
so
upon
fucking
these
angry right now. Like,
take the helm and claim your place among the.
Hi, Judge. I attempted to start my turn, but my opponent decided it was.
Is your husband okay with this risk?
oh, this is what I wanted to watch. Is this the entire argument? It looks like it. I think this is a debate. Wanted to watch this Kissin and Konstantin Kissin and
Another
Destiny
Nux
debate.
and Or video, another day of communists and leftists having the worst days of their life. I'm starting to realize that they are deeply unhappy people with a dad-shaped hole.
We need
in
to
their heart
like,
that they're trying-
you know what? Screw it. Stop. We need to just. We're gonna stop playing planes for a second. We need to. We're having a whole bunch of bullshit happen, so we just need to shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. So we just need to shake it off, and we're going to play a round of tanks because we suck at tanks anyways. So I hate this, and I hate this map. I really hate this map. It's like one of my. Well, it's better than I prefer the triple rather than the single point.
trying to fill with all sorts of random garbage and shenanigans. It's not easy. Everyone wants to connect to something bigger, and since they've already denounced God, now they think that something bigger means men who think they're rich and beat the crap out of other women in sports and bad things and stuff. Everyone believes a religion. But today especially was a deeply bad day for some of the worst people. Of course, the war in Iran is going much better than anyone anticipated, actually. This is Donald Trump giving it a rating.
And we're doing very well on the war front, to put it mildly, I would say. Somebody said, on a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15. And we're going to continue to do well. We have the greatest military in the world by far.
Yeah, proved, no lies detected. In my experience, killing rapists, pedophile, mass murdering terrorists is actually a good thing, but then again, That is basically your classic Democrat voter these days. Speaking of voters, we have so much to dive into today. Lots of little mini elections throughout the country just happened on the Senate level, on the Congress level. It's pretty incredible. But we got Kristi Noem eviscerating idiots in the Senate, and we have Tim Walz flubbering around, and he's going to jail for fraud. So much to do, so little time, so many retards to make their days a little bit worse, and so many more death threats to receive after making this video. All in a day's work for your favorite retarded cartoon political conversation. First things first, we have to talk about the voting situation. All right, so lots of elections went down in Texas yesterday. Honestly, so far, so good. We have seen unbridled levels of victories, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the worst retards were kicked out, and some of our retards were kicked out too. We have so much to say. So, first and foremost, they tried to cheat.
Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins, who tells us that voting is now extended until 9 p.m. for Democrats in Dallas.
Oh, did I totally miss? I didn't even get a hit.
Yeah, so they cheated. I mean, quite literally. This is literally on the news. This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. Remember when people said, oh, hey, they're cheating in elections, and now people used to say, no, that can't be right. That's not true. There's no way. That's impossible. Now they're straight up admitting that they're letting Democrats vote for 2 hours more than Republicans. No one is surprised.
Stick your little nose out.
How unbelievably forward they are. Now, a lot of people are saying that, oh my God, Trump is losing his base. His base is split on the Iran war and on all the other things. Every day I wake up, I open the news, and I see some retarded panicking, freaking out about how Trump is losing his base. Turns out every single Trump endorsement won. 32 Trump endorsements, 32 primary wins. It seems like the man still has aura. That's what I have to say. And Donald Trump seems to be gloating about it.
Oh, damn.
All right. It turns out candidates endorsed by Trump have a 43% chance increase of winning, which is absolute insanity. That is a crazy number. So one of the biggest surprises I had was that the top governor poll for California right now is actually 2 Republicans. I can't believe this. Dude,
Drive trains dead.
California in my lifetime? What?
Dude, where the wreck is?
Communists over there are gonna have the worst day.
Apparently, I'm 3-on-1ing right here.
50% for Chad Bianco, Republican. 15% for Steve Hilton, Republican. And then a lot of Democrats that are going to be fighting over the spot, and they are all lower. I literally
Team
could not
sucks.
This is the biggest shock I've ever seen ever. We're going to have a Republican governor of...
I hate the M18 or whatever. I think it needs to be nerfed. It's faster than pretty much anything. It's just so OP.
California, but we have to get into the actual meat and potatoes. First and foremost, Rep. and Crenshaw.
The reverse, like the speed, the reverse speed,
in double digits.
The ability to pretty much pierce anything.
52% to like 39%. That is a massive.
I think most of my deaths actually come from that
Everyone thought
thing.
he was going to win, or even saw this coming, and all of a sudden Steve Thompson
Because I'm usually fighting something else, and this motherfucker comes speeding around the fucking corner.
For Republicans. This dude was a rhino, certified, voting against everything, super neocon, quite literally, not trying to be rude here or anything, because I don't want him to threaten me. He's been on camera literally threatening the lives of his critics, so like Tucker Carlson. Look, I have no love for Tucker Carlson in particular, but this dude's been threatening his life and stuff on camera.
Did he shoot? He shot through
honestly,
B right
huge
there.
W that we managed to get this guy out. Extra W, this guy that actually did win, Steve Toth, seems really based. He seems based as fuck from what I've seen so far. But I guess only time will tell. So
You gotta be joking me.
Replace one of our rhinos with someone that's actually a conservative.
Dude.
No more High Patch McCain. Big victory for America.
Oh, yeah,
Now,
whatever.
another little thing that I thought was important to talk about is that it seems like the U.S. House Oversight Committee voted to subpoena Attorney General Pam Bondi in the Epstein file investigation, 24-19. And that means a lot of Republicans voted that way too. Republicans who joined the Democrats are Boebert, Burchett, Cloud, Mace, and Perry. And for the record, great. I think she's a nightmare. I think she needs to absolutely get subpoenaed for this Epstein stuff. We have so much we need to talk about.
Victory Falcon Islands.
She was the worst pick of the Trump administration by far, not even close. Rubio's been great. Hegset's been great.
If we had gotten Matt, who was it? Matt.
She's been a nightmare, quite literally. So I think this is pretty awesome stuff. I'm excited to see what this is all about. We need justice. We need justice in the Epstein situation.
The other guy.
As it stands right now,
there was somebody else that they were
the
trying to get
Pam
in
Bondi,
her
and
position.
it's not even close. So, I mean, this beats the
Attorney
Republicans
General.
are occult allegations because they're, basically doing things based on what's good as opposed to joining this little hubbub.
For some reason, they didn't
and
stick with him.
saying, no, actually, we
Like,
shouldn't be
the
killing
Democrats
the
wouldn't vote for him.
Ayatollah
Some
terrorists that have been trying
bullshit.
to kill it for 47 years.
Should have stuck with
so
him.
another colossal double.
He would have done 100 times. Ow!
The GOAT,
Or my
Brandon
finger in the
Herrera,
fucking metal.
comes in
Would have done 100 times better than her.
43-41 against the incumbent Tony Gonzalez. Ladies and gentlemen, AK Daddy has taken it.
He did it?
Unbelievable. This is going to go into runoffs because neither of them got 50% of the vote, but that's just a technicality. The reality is he won. Now, I'm extra proud, personally, because,
Runoffs are
again,
bullshit.
I personally think Brandon Herrera is great.
He did it.
I'm like on a personal level.
Herrera's
aside
gonna
from the
win.
whole politics thing. But also, he's basically the only candidate I think I've ever endorsed, like, publicly on a YouTube channel. So I just have to say I'm pretty proud that he won. I have to say I'm pretty proud. Also, Tony Gonzalez, complete slime ball. This is a massive W for America. Also, Brandon Herrera, really fucking
No, he needs to get
guns.
the
He
ATF.
fakes his shit. Anyway, moving on. Al Green, you might recognize him from
Al Green's out.
holding the big sign at Donald Trump's speech saying that black people rent apes and other things like that. He's the guy, he's always screaming, he's yelling, everything is racism for this guy. And even the wokies are tired of the racist bullshit. They're tired of the infinite screaming about racism. Al Green got obliterated, ladies and gentlemen. And he has gone through these PR runs, literally doing his absolute best. He has been trying so hard to, make believe, no, actually, I'm great and cool and I'm fighting against Donald Trump. It didn't work, bro. It didn't work. This Neanderthal-looking motherfucker got obliterated. Colossal W. We take
I was
note.
gonna say
Now,
the monkey thing. He doesn't go against the stereotype.
Lakeisha Alston, a woman running for election
Poor
as a
Al.
Republican in North Carolina Senate District 22 in a full hijab, it reveals that she was actually a lifelong Democrat.
It would have been funnier
but
if
she
Al
decided
Green
to
was
run
the
for
monkey instead of the
Republican, completely
Obamas.
unopposed, and won because she was the only person actually running.
Even though she gets the Republican ticket, I still think the Republican, even though she because nobody runs in the primary because North Carolina never goes, or North Carolina. I'm assuming because no one ever, the Democrats always run unopposed because they just, well, usually even then, even in Senate, they usually you don't leave a Senate seat run unopposed. Like, usually maybe a different seat you run unopposed. But I think they can just reject her. Like, you can just throw her out of the primary. Like, you can throw her out. Where is this guy? There he is.
In that area. So this is now a Republican politician.
No,
gonna get
she's
destroyed
not a
eventually.
Republican.
This is just the primaries, but still, that's just honestly terrifying shit. Really, for real. Now, we got to talk about my favorite character. Of
Just
the
because no one wanted to
video,
waste any money running against
Jasmine
her to then lose against the
because
Democrat
Jasmine
because
Crockett is gone. It's over. It's actually over. She lost. We've never taken this many W's in one sitting. So first I have to remind you the campaign that she ran. All right, she ran.
Now, what really
bullshit
disturbs me is I still think you need to file as a Republican. I think they can reject you when you file. The fact that she wasn't rejected immediately for the Republican Party that's the problem.
campaign. A lot of black people are starting to say that, the woke black community is like, no, it's actually racist that she lost. No, she's just retarded and gay. Bad day for black, strong women. After Kamala and her, it's honestly, it's rough out there. But let's not forget, this is the ad she decided to use to run.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
Oh, she lost. It's over.
But you have this woman Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
True.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person.
Get a life.
Crockett. Oh man, oh man.
Get a life.
She's a very low IQ person.
You know, like I can 1-on-3 you guys, but it's just like let me fight the dude, all right?
Of the party. I said, you gotta be kidding.
Just let me fight the motherfucker.
Now they're gonna rely on Crockett. Crockett's gonna bring them back.
This is the greatest ad I've ever seen. It's just 30 seconds of her playing Donald Trump on repeat, calling her retarded. And she gives this gay-ass smile. Crockett running for Senate, and she lost miserably. Oh my God, the greatest campaign of all time. So this is her realizing live that she lost. And this is incredible. This is her storming off of her own event, realizing that she lost to this guy, James
The Democrats
Tallarico,
are
which
such
we're gonna talk about
children.
very soon.
So that's my news. Is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did the same thing with what's her name with Hillary Clinton, right?
Specifically, it's taking place in Dallas County.
Well, we did get results. More on that in a minute.
Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do.
Republicans. You're running in a primary, dummy.
Lost the Democrats.
And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why. So,
Yep, Jasmine Crockett just sent a threat. The Republicans had to come in to elect a Democrat.
I want you to enjoy yourselves, but I won't be back tonight because
you
I
lost.
have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow.
It was last night.
So,
yeah.
I love y'all too.
We're never gonna have to see her again. Oh my God, we're never gonna have to see this retarded freaking face again. This is coming from the woman who has come up with bangers like it's not illegal to break into the country illegally. Oh my God.
Love you down.
Yeah. And then she leaves in middle of her own event, and she storms off her own event. The Republicans love doing this. All right, so then she goes on the news after immediately losing miserably, talking about how, I'm not even kidding, the Republicans must have cheated. Bitch, you lost that Democrat.
Fred has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating.
I'm getting so fucking pissed off.
You lost your own party.
I'm getting really
we
pissed
even
off.
have Jasmine Crockett saying that the Democrats are cheating in elections. That's incredible. Democrats are like, all right, this woke shit is over. We have to get rid of all the black people. Is that really what's going on?
Just dying
First
bullshit
Al
after
Green
bullshit
and then
after
Jasmine
bullshit.
Crockett. Oh, that's just diabolical.
Then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote. Stand in line.
It's all that Democrat cheating that got her to lose.
Wait in line.
Bro, this is honestly incredible stuff. So long as they know they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. Who's they? Dog. Republicans cheated because another Democrat beat me. Dude, retard of the year for real, for real. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is a glorious crash out. Oh my God. She will not be missed.
Oh, you just voted to do it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification. Look at calm down. No, because this is what y'all do. So I'm trying to get clarification.
You're not recognized. Miss
I can't hear you with your yelling. Don't want calm down. No, don't tell me to calm down because y'all talk noise. And then you
Don't y'all tell a black woman to calm down.
This is the send-off, by the way. This is my send-off to her.
come and talk shit about her. Y'all don't have a problem.
Mr. Chairman.
Dog, what are we doing?
Chair, okay. Order. Chair now recognizes Miss Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Miss Green talk, and then you all can. I'll recognize.
But I move to strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Oh my God. Women, calm down.
Because you all cannot see.
Calm down, ladies.
This is why women shouldn't be in government.
apply the rules of the committee, we have to do this every time.
Hey, I'm recognized. I'm going to go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know.
Thank God she also left.
Look.
God, we're really cleaning out Congress from like a lot of retards.
I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Miss Green and let
We
her
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is
Oh my God, we're still voting for these bitches. It's unbelievable. We gotta understand. All right. No, it's sexist to recognize that men and women are different. Yeah, we know the shtick already. Now, anyway, despite the fact that Jasmine Crockett lost, she did get a very good endorsement, which helped her lose, from Kamala Harris. That's right. Jasmine Crockett would have won the primary if it wasn't for the last-minute endorsement from toxic losing presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Apologies, Kamala. I was not familiar with your game. It's honestly diabolical. So they all came together to push this. And they lost. Terrible day for black people everywhere. Anyway, this was leaked footage from the Black Lives Matter founder caught beating his female employees. All right, so this is the founder of Black Lives Matter. Terrible day for the folk. Terrible day for the folk is what I'm trying to say. Unbelievable. Anyway, you got the idea. It's pretty insane stuff. The fight began in the office. When she came to ask for money, he owed her. Unclear who threw the first punch. Yeah. Anyway, Black Lives Matter as you would assault your female employees. Good stuff. So anyway, we have to talk about the person that actually defeated her because you thought she was an S-class retard.
He's like a get a kill.
A new retard that we have to look out for. James Tallarico. James Tallarico is an individual that I had on my radar for a long time because
Wait, did I have
he's a heretic.
Oh, no, I didn't.
All right, I hate heretics very, very much. Heretics suck.
I'm
all right, if
locking
you want to
bombs.
blaspheme the Lord,
Like, I want to use that thing to bomb.
in the Lord's name, okay? All right, so this dude is like one of these woke radical Christians talking about how actually God wants abortion and transgenderism and all that stuff, and quite literally. Just basically throws half the Bible into the garbage and uses the other half of the Bible as toilet paper to pad his diabolical, demonic agenda. So I'm just going to show you what we're going to have to deal with.
When we get back to the point where we can execute heretics, I think is a good point.
Moving forward.
This summer, more than half our population became second-class citizens.
Yeah, how?
Every one of our neighbors with a uterus became the property of the state.
What? What? Oh my God! So we go to Iran to liberate all these women, okay? In Iran,
The left has infiltrated the church, people.
No, keep the women as slaves. Shit like that. Here, where women do have rights, equal rights to men. In fact, more rights than men. All right, this is gonna get me canceled. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Women have more rights than men in the United States of America because if there is a draft, then men get drafted and women do not. Therefore, women have more rights than men. Women could vote for a draft that will get me drafted and her not. Women have more rights than men in the United States of America. Never let them gaslight you into thinking otherwise.
And nothing. Before we go further, I want to acknowledge that our trans community...
Bro, that entire sentence is the most demonic shit I've ever heard in my life. Our trans community needs abortions too? Oh my God, unbelievable. And this dude, he goes out there and preaches like he is some like devout Christian guy. My guy, in Deuteronomy, it explicitly states, not exaggerating, a man that dresses like a woman is an abomination against God. And in Exodus 25 it states, thou shalt not murder. Okay? In Jeremiah 1:5 it states that life begins at conception in the womb. Okay? We don't need to get involved in all this riffraff bullshit. This guy is a heretic.
Defending trans Texans is something we have to do every day at the state
Oh
capitol.
my God.
And you better believe I'll be giving sermons on that too.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
So when I use the word woman, it should not be understood as an exhaustive term, but rather as a lens through which to understand, examine, and interrogate patriarchy.
Oh my fucking God. Again, these people are
Patriarchy, the entire thing that the Bible is based upon, the fact that the church hierarchy is based upon patriarchy. Like, It's literally like patriarchy. Like the Bible literally says patriarchy is good. It's what everything is based upon. The organization of patriarchy.
Actually retarded, and also feminism inherently is a contradictory state because the idea of abolishing the patriarchy is retarded. Men have a monopoly on force. That's just a fact of life and reality. And because men have a monopoly on force, in order to destroy a patriarchy, you need a patriarchy, because ultimately the force is men, and it needs to be wielded by men.
No women are going to be
So it is
destroying
an
any
irrational
patriarchy.
position that
So they're going to be
inherently
appealing to
doesn't make
men
sense,
to
but
destroy the
that's fine,
patriarchy.
because leftists don't believe in reality. This dude is giving a sermon in the name of God on trans people getting abortions. You don't even know what are you talking about? And he does this constantly. Right, bro really tries to hit you with the God is non-binary.
Is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary.
Like, dude, what are we doing here? This is unbelievable. But where does
Oh,
it
that was
refer
the
to
wrong
God as
button.
they, them in the Bible? It doesn't. It calls him he, by the way. All right? It doesn't call God they, them anywhere. All right? And this is him basically, oh my God, I can show you like a million of these clips, because this guy's insane.
But I say all this in terms of, in context of abortion, because before God comes over Mary and we have the incarnation, God asks for Mary's consent. Which
What does that have to do with abortion?
Go back and read this in Luke.
Because it's God giving her permission to abort Jesus.
Asks Mary if this is something
I've
she
never
wants to do.
heard more utter bullshit. Like, I've heard some bullshit that the left is trying to pull out of the Bible.
So to me, that is
This is probably one of the biggest ones.
Stories
that God was giving Mary permission to abort Jesus. He was looking for consent.
This is him trying to explain why abortion is biblical, and it's straight bullshit. And also, if you actually read the phrase in Luke, it doesn't say this at all. It says that the angel let her know. But anyway, we don't need to get into that. Like, it doesn't stop with this guy. This pulled up some old tweets.
Oh, damn.
This person is the latest American killed by the virus of racism. The virus kills our black neighbors if they're jogging, playing music, sitting in church, selling CDs, or carrying a bag of Skittles. White skin gives me and every other American immunity to the virus, but we spread it wherever we go. Through our words, our actions,
Can I still
our
fly?
systems, we don't have to be showing symptoms like a white hood or a Confederate flag to be contagious. Holy shit, this guy won! This guy beat Jasmine Crockett. I feel like it's just people don't know what he was saying. I feel like Jasmine Crockett, like Operation Let Them Speak, worked too well, okay? But we activated Operation Let Them Speak. They started speaking.
Can I get out?
Realized they're retarded and they voted them out. Now they're replacing
I broke his
people
prop.
that they didn't really hear speak.
Well, I'm glad I stayed alive. I broke his prop.
Dude, Black
He's going
Americans
down.
in a church, Mexican Americans in a store, Asian Americans in a spa. Radicalized white men are the greatest domestic terrorist threat to our country. Oh my God! I can't believe this guy is real. All right, here, this is the worst phrase I've ever heard in my life.
Our southern border should be
all right.
like our front porch.
What?
There should be a giant welcome mat.
Need to
out
focus
front.
it.
Oh my God! A giant welcome mat by our southern border. Come on in, rape our women. This is unbelievable. So this guy won. All right, now this guy over here, Steve Toth, the guy that actually beat Dan Crenshaw, he had something to say personally about James Tallarico, this heretic.
Nano Banana 2 is now on Artlist, and it's more cost-effective and way faster. So
62 Democrats joined 21 Republicans to give us the Speaker of the House. So, 3/4, 2/3, 20, 2/3, 2/3 Democrat, 1/3 Republican. That coalition of Democrats runs the Texas House. So when I put forth legislation to secure our elections, it gets killed by the Democrats. When I put forth legislation to end the social transition of children, it gets killed by the Democrats. It's evil. Tallarico is part of that group. I served with James Tallarico from 2019 through to today.
Damn.
This guy is as evil as they come.
I agree. I think a false prophet is worse than just your average heathen. Okay?
How-
In my opinion, someone that uses...
How is it 2/3? How is Democrats House, State House, 2/3 Democrat? Like something needs to be done about that. Like
This
they should be
God's
like the
name
most Republican.
to do unbelievable amounts of evil, I think is so much worse than just your random fucking retarded atheist.
There is a darkness to this man's life that if you doubt that there's a wicked,
He's just gonna crash into the ground and not let me get the kill.
World, you only have to look at James Tellerico.
Damn, that is a harsh statement. Like, out of everybody, this is what this guy targets.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
okay.
So again, that shocked me.
Lately,
Now,
I've
someone
seen
else
a lot
that's
of people
calling
have been
out, James Tellerico
just
is Brandon Hill.
bullshitting.
Are Democrats capable of just
Dude,
being
why am I
normal?
not getting hits?
Tellerico saying our trans community needs abortion.
What
care
is
too.
this?
Now, Brandon Hill actually just won his election yesterday as well. A stunning.
What
victory.
is
I've never
this?
seen it before. He won 91.1% of the vote. This guy killed it. Right, like, this dude might be a future
Okay, I
president,
got the kill.
Okay? I'm not even
All right.
exaggerating. He killed it. Landslide victory. No one saw that coming. All right, now to understand what this guy stands for, he's been saying things like Islamic terrorism didn't come to the United States on the Mayflower. We imported it via a suicidal immigration system. Base? This guy
All right, we
also
finally got
said
a
how
win.
many Americans have to
7-2.
get Allah Akbar'd before we realize Islam is a problem. Mega base? If
I
you're
mean,
here illegally,
Allah
the only
Akbar.
process you're due is deportation. Oh my God, he has been cooking. He's been cooking for a while. So again, I'm really happy to
All
see
right,
this
got
guy
some
won. He also got the
upgrades.
Trump endorsement, and he also won deserved. This guy seems pretty great so far.
This
Every
might be
time I
why
see
we're
him
not fully upgraded
engage
to the
with people,
guns.
in Congress or whatever. He just seems like he's straight
All right,
fire.
this will give us
now. Justin Shakir
best
Khan, former
version of
Lodi
the guns.
City councilman who was born
Hopefully
in
we'll be able to hit
Pakistan,
targets
has been sentenced to
better,
3 years in jail
less
for registering over
lean.
70 fake voters. The thing that never happens keeps happening. It's so weird. Now, speaking of security for our nation, we have to talk about Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem was brought in, dragged into Congress, Senate, whatever, all these people yelling and screaming at her. And she basically, not only did she hold her own, she annihilated them. We have an existential threat to our country, our nation, and our culture, and that is the importation of retards. That's right. Retards, mostly from the third world, or drug traffickers or narco-terrorists are coming into our country. It's an objective fact. And no, you could scream racism. No, but what about racism? You might become
You're gonna
racist
play a
to the
little.
non-narco-terrorists.
I need to earn
don't
some money.
care. Okay, leave me alone. We don't want retards in our country, ideally. We should not be bringing in more of them. We have enough of our own to deal with. All right, there are a lot of feminists with nose rings in California that I would love to find a way to deport, but we can't. But these guys, we can. All right, so let's do that, please, ASAP, if possible. So
How is this guy still
them,
alive?
The Democrats, quite literally proving that
He
they're
looks like a
evil pieces of
zombie.
shit. All right, I love that they start off like this because I think
This guy's been in office. Like several of these people have been in office since I was a kid. It's insane.
completely proves that they're evil.
They are very unlikely to commit offenses. For the folk,
Right, this is him saying that illegal aliens are very unlikely to commit offenses. This is a lie. Actually, I did the math. 100% of illegal aliens commit crimes because they come into our country illegally, which is a crime. All right, so 100% of them are criminals. All right. Oh, but I mean specific other crimes. I don't care what your criteria is. It's irrelevant to me. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. These people need to go. So anyway, so this is him saying that it's very unlikely for illegal aliens to commit crimes, and he's not only saying that in front of Secretary Noem, but he's also saying that in front of, quite literally, a lot of the angel families of people that have lost children to illegal aliens that raped and murdered them.
very unlikely to commit offenses. For the folks that are here and your families, I'm sorry. It's terrible what happened to your children. Or
I can't believe he's doing this. It's super unlikely for illegal aliens to commit offenses. Sorry if that happened to you, by the way. And get ready for the best part.
But they are more.
No but. No but. No but. But? What do you mean but? Your daughter was raped and killed by an illegal alien that came into our country illegally. He should have never been here, but he came in here and he raped your daughter. Well, that sucks. But did you know that statistically speaking, statistics don't matter? I don't think people are aware of this. Let me tell you the amount of women that I think is okay to be raped in order to let these illegals come into our country. 0. I don't think people are on the same page as me. In my opinion, I have a very simple political stance with Alright, this is my opinion.
That was weird.
I just put the buttoning out in base.
There was a graphics glitch or something.
Maybe just built an app.
Impossible. Didn't I get code? Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
So you're saying we can all build apps now?
I'm on lunch.
I gotta make a call.
I'll be in my office.
Just built an inventory tracker.
Protein calculator.
Book sharing app.
A workflow manager that
tracks who still owes for the group lunch.
Trash duty sticky. Since no one seems to care.
Just built the
I just created a goal tracking system.
We built the same thing, didn't we?
Yep. Can this thing manage contacts? Is the SOC 2 compliant?
I want to animate this graph.
Create a party planner.
Profesor de español.
An inter-office dating app. For dogs. For office dogs. You know what I mean?
Stop raping, sir.
That is my stance. That is my stance. And if you cannot follow me on this crusade, then you quite literally are an evil piece of shit.
More likely, citizens are more likely to be attacked by United States citizens.
So first of all, this is not true. It's just the information is false.
This is just bullshit. It's like, it doesn't matter if they are more likely to be attacked by United States citizens. Every time there is a crime that happens here by an illegal immigrant, it should never have happened. So let's say there's 10,000 assaults, murders, whatever, every year because of it. It's like, because those people should never have been here. They shouldn't be allowed in. They're here illegally. That's 10,000 things that shouldn't have happened, that you allowed to happen because you allowed them in. Like, if you had kept them out, that's 10,000 people that wouldn't have been assaulted, murdered, crimes that wouldn't have happened. So you're allowing crimes that shouldn't exist, that should never have happened, to happen. That's it. There's no argument against this. There's just none.
Off the hook on crimes, so the statistics and the actual numbers that we have are fudged numbers to begin with. That's one. And two, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One is too many. Like, I love how these people are like, yes, a lot of you may get raped, and that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Some illegal aliens in our country to vote and steal elections. This is the evilest shit ever, and I love how they just say it out loud, like it's not evil. All right, so first, this is Gnome. She doesn't get pushback on this, but she ends up cooking a little bit.
So when a Democrat supports somebody who's illegal, that's good government. When a Republican does, we're Nazis in fashion.
Yeah. Did you notice?
Are you entitled to stay? They would allow you to stay. I want you to understand that these people have no interest in cleaning up this mess. In 2026, we're going to have an election about this, and they're openly saying, unless you're a violent criminal, you should be allowed to stay here. Do you agree the most secure border in American history has been achieved by you and those under your control?
The trees.
Working with President Trump. Are you proud of that?
I am. So, I mean, just to set the stage, this is what we're dealing with. Now, this is crazy. So Dick Durbin decides to drop a couple of insane fact bombs over here, and I'm so happy that this narrative is finally being shredded.
Let me ask you about the fact that 85% of the 400,000 immigrants that ICE arrested during President Trump's...
Why can't I take it? We have guys on it. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. The game mechanics are just bullshit. We have tanks on the thing too. Why can't we take it? Why can't we take it? If both our tanks and their tanks are on it, we should be able to take it.
Your heart and sympathy for the people that just want a better life. Well, that really sucks for you. Figure that out. It's not my problem. Okay? Listen, not everything is my problem. I pay taxes. My taxes go to the government. I don't expect the government to take my tax money and start
Just
funding
bullshit
people that are coming
mechanics.
to our country illegally and, I don't know, raping. Or even not raping. Maybe they're only raping our tax dollars and they're not raping our women and children. That's much better, I would say. You know, I don't need you. I don't need to be in traffic because there's 30 million illegal aliens in our country. I don't need to be paying extra gas because there's 30 million illegal aliens in my country. I don't need to be paying extra on rent or on real estate because the housing market is ass because there's 30 million illegal aliens in our country. Okay, right? I don't need to be struggling to find a job when there's 47 guys all named Jorge that have a job in that very same company and none of them are legal in the country. All right? Quite literally, we don't need to live like this. We don't need to live like this. We have orders and laws for a reason. The fact that these people are jumping over themselves, literally tumbling over themselves to keep these criminals in our country is insane. And because it's at the detriment of our own people.
The president said over and over at his rallies, we're going after the worst of the worst.
Yeah, you start with the worst of the worst. All right, you get the rapists out first, but every single one of them needs to go.
the murderers, the rapists. And then it turns out that 85% of the people you've gone after have no criminal history whatsoever.
Lie. They're in the country illegally. That is a criminal history.
Sir, when you talk about violent crimes, what you're saying, the crimes that don't matter, that you aren't counting, are ones that affect American families every single day. You're not counting DUIs. You're not counting embezzlement. You're not counting theft. And you're not counting the other crimes against people and drug trafficking. And
only 15% of them are violent criminals. We should leave in the drug traffickers and the people driving under the influence and shit. Wow.
Creating that. So if you don't count those as crimes, that these individuals...
That is exactly how the left operates, though. Like, that is how they get their numbers in order, right? Like, that is how they move. Because words mean nothing. Like, they've completely bastardized language. You know, Trump is Hitler and Republicans are all fascists and Nazis. Right? They have completely and utterly bastardized language to the point that their words really don't mean anything.
I think I got him.
They're like demons.
His wing's on fire.
Monsters who use human language in order to deceive.
Good chance it's gonna burn.
And quite literally, once you realize that, it changes everything. Right? They can't even define the word woman. This is the level of retardation that we're dealing with.
Yeah, I think I got
like,
him.
We're dealing with people that like, oh, man, woman, I don't know. God is non-binary, actually. So therefore, like, what are we doing? Transgenders need abortions? Are we serious? Like, this is unbelievable.
And impacting families in this country.
They are counted, and they calculate
those
14% of those that
those
you
are not
arrest.
counted in your 14%. If you were counting crimes that these illegal aliens in this country have committed, it would be well over 65 to 70% of the individuals that are detained today have those crimes on their record, besides the crime of being in this country illegally.
Going to back that up with some information for me?
Absolutely, I will.
I certainly hope you will.
Yeah, I sure hope you will. Irrelevant. They're in the country legally, they have to go. But even
I'm glad you just
notwithstanding
won't let
that,
them
look
lie
at
and
how
just
they
get away
lie
with
to you.
that.
Look at how they lie. It's like, oh, statistically, illegal aliens don't do lots of crimes. We just don't consider most things crimes for illegal aliens or something.
Yeah, we don't. Did they steal? Did they steal $1,000? Oh, it was only $999. Oh, then they weren't stealing. You know, did they commit fraud for $1,000? You know, did they only rip off white people? Then it wasn't. Then you know, then it doesn't matter. I hate these people so much.
And she's been basically eviscerating all of these morons.
During the Biden years, approximately how many foreign nationals illegally entered our country, either as gotaways or through the CB1 app or the catch and release policies of Biden?
We don't necessarily know.
Oh,
we don't necessarily know because
that's the issue. Our previous administration, in my opinion, was treason.
The invasion was facilitated by the federal government during that time.
That's right.
And while all of our CBP agents were pulled to process people, to make sandwiches, to take care of the masses and thousands of people crossing the border, huge swaths of our border were left unsecured.
So
and the cartels took advantage of that to
We
travel.
don't know how many millions of illegals. We know at least 10 million because we watched them either cross the border or we released them under the Biden administration. But the Inspector General reported...
Treason! Let them hang! Legally speaking, after a court case, of course, for treason.
That they also approved entry visas for 13 million foreign nationals.
Oh, come on, man. Just give it to me.
Background checks is required by law. Do we know anything?
Do you understand the level of bullshit that we had to deal with? And now I see people upset that Trump is like at war in Iran or whatever, which by the way,
it's doing everything it can to.
Yes, absolutely. It's fucking obliterate those guys.
Like, tonight is a bad night, dude.
To destroy us, but that's for
He's doing everything it can to steal me. Like, I have missed so many damn close shots that I normally make, and then it's like, just
what our opposition is. Our opposition tried to sell our
last second trying to get stuff.
Our opposition opened our borders to let people and foreigners rape our country and steal it forever.
Anything about those 13 million visa approvals that were given without any kind of vetting?
13 million visa approvals, and we wonder why that all of our college campuses are absolute shitholes full of like protests and violent idiots waving foreign flags, screaming for intifada and whatever the fuck. We wonder how that happened, right? Well, Biden just gave 13 million visas to people without checking.
We don't. We're going back and tracking ones we have documentation on, but most of them are not at the addresses that they left, the contacts.
And now they're trying to revoke the visas, and every single activist judge on the planet is saying, no, you're not allowed to revoke visas from people, which is completely insane.
they may have done, and all of our programs under the Department of Homeland
This is
Security
5.0.
were violated and abused and perverted as well. For example, when we came in, there was 400,000 asylum cases.
Trying to find a group of people that has more people waiting for
battle. He abused it so
battle.
bad during that invasion that when I first got sworn in
Doesn't
as
seem like there's
secretary,
many
there was a
people
backlog of
playing tonight.
1.5 million asylum cases.
And
that all need to be reviewed.
Do we know how many are still even in the country?
No, we don't.
How many criminals were allowed in?
Oh, thousands of them. We know for a fact.
Dude, we need to actually start charging these people for treason, like, because that's what they're gonna try to do to Trump, right? When they come into power, God forbid, at some point, and they will. But we really, like, dude, our country got saved when Trump dodged that bullet, you know.
That other countries encouraged, emptied out their prisons, their mental institutions, encouraged people to go, and those individuals who would pay a cartel member.
And not only that, but these people, they were in cahoots with the cartels. They were part of this giant trafficking network. Aside from children getting missing at the border, like, these people obviously do not have any allegiance to America.
What
They're
level
just
is the
literally
yacht?
here to rape our country. And their allegiance is to whatever shithole they came from.
To move them across the country, certainly came into our country, broke that first law, which made them a criminal, and then after that, many times.
And could you tell us again just how many illegal aliens have been deported under your leadership or have been self-deported?
There's been over 700,000 that have been detained and arrested and are being deported. I want to remind everybody at this committee, too, that every single one of these individuals that's detained has final orders of removal. They can leave today.
And by the way,
as soon as they get to that detention center,
how many of those that you've deported now have records of a criminal or arrests or convictions?
70% of those in our detention centers have criminal records.
So roughly over 500,000.
Bro, we need to be going in with trank guns, okay, and just knocking them down, loading them on trebuchets and launching them across. We have to deport all of these fuckers. We should not leave a single one in our country.
Yes.
So you've effectively removed more than 500,000.
Doug, where's your empathy? My empathy is for my countrymen. You know, the ones that are getting raped. It's for them. And quite literally, everyone else that's anti-ICE, in my opinion, is traitors. Traitors to our country. Fuck ICE. Fuck ICE. Fuck you.
Dude, what is up with their lucky shots?
The
Check out my
craziest thing
fucking
I've heard in my
engine.
entire life. Fuck immigration enforcement? Let people invade our country forever? Nah, dude. We have to actually do something major.
Criminal illegal aliens from our streets and sent them back to their own countries or detained.
Yes.
And what's that done to our crime rate?
Oh, our crime rate has been phenomenal. In fact, we have the lowest murder rate in our country that we've had.
So weird how that happens. You mean to tell me you deport 2.5 million illegal aliens and all of a sudden, ooh, wow, it's impossible. I can't believe it. The crime rate goes down. Wow, I can't believe it. Wow, so much wow.
Since it's been recorded over 125 years, our murder rates are at the lowest that it is. The drug epidemic is getting better and improving. We need it to do more so we don't lose more of our children. But we specifically under ICE as well and HSI target human traffickers.
I wonder why the media never talks about this.
Child pedophiles and those that would perpetuate assaults against our
Media decides to talk forever about Donald Trump and the Epstein files and stuff instead of this. But, like, dude, this is an objective, massive, colossal.
Yeah, we don't have our own landing strip,
it's unbelievable.
so I'm not going to be able to repair the
All right,
engine.
now I have to show you her hitting back at some of the Democrats.
We're just going to lose it.
Will you rule out the
It's slowly
deployment of ICE
decreasing.
or CBP to polling places this November?
There are no plans to have ICE officers at our polling locations. And
I'm glad to hear that, but would you rule it out? Would you say it will not happen?
Do you plan on illegal aliens voting in our elections, Senator?
Mike, drop. It is over. Why? What possible reasoning could you have to not want ICE around polling centers and voting centers? What possible justification is there? Unless you're trying to steal elections.
Do not. In
Okay,
fact,
then
the
there should be
Heritage
no need to,
Foundation,
unless you plan on illegal
Madam
aliens
Secretary,
voting.
the Heritage Foundation recently concluded that over a 20-year period where they reviewed hundreds of millions, billions of voting cases, they found only a small handful of actual cases of illegals voting.
So what are you so worried about? So why can't ICE be around the polling places?
I'm concerned by your rebuttal, which suggests you may be unfamiliar with 18 U.S.C. Section 592.
Huh?
Are you familiar with this federal statute that relates to sending armed men to polling places.
Oh my God.
There are no plans to send any of our law enforcement officers to
But
polling
Madam Secretary, you're
locations.
clear it would
There
be
have
a
been
federal
illegal
crime
aliens
for you to do so.
There are illegal aliens that have voted, and it's been proven in the past in certain cases in certain states. We provide.
I mean, there was the one Pakistani guy that just got arrested today for voter fraud.
A program to states. I think we have 27 different states that utilize our SAVE program now to verify individuals that are eligible to vote in their elections. And as states run their election systems, we encourage them to use that to make sure they maintain their election integrity.
Sounds to me like they're trying to cheat in elections, but what do I know? I'm just a blue retard on the internet. Anyway, so this is crazy. She says something under oath that I think is should shake you to your core.
Alien children were lost by the Biden administration, not tracked. We've located about 145,000 of them.
Incredible.
And we've done that through the investigative work of our Homeland Security investigations.
Located 145,000 children that were lost under the Biden administration. Not even a peep in the media. Not a peep.
Team, they are phenomenal at the work that they do, and they specialize in child trafficking, sex trafficking, and finding individuals that would perpetuate that harm against our children. The one thing that has been challenging is that under the Biden administration, the government paid sponsors in HHS in order to host these children. And those sponsors, many times, we found instances where they trafficked these children themselves. So
Biden, under oath, Kristi Noem says that the Biden administration was paying child traffickers.
Under that administration,
Doesn't surprise
we
me.
had children that were in this country as a part of a program. The government was paying individuals that were knowingly trafficking them and abusing them. That has stopped.
Bro.
We have gone through
What?
and found these children. And
Dog, when I said the left is the pedophile party, like, I was like being glib in the beginning, but the left is like actually the pedophile party. Like, aside from, you know, murdering babies and castrating children and grooming them and stuff to vote for them because they refuse to actually breed, right? They don't breed, they don't procreate at all. They have no children themselves because they're girl bosses. So they decide to just groom children instead. That's obviously how they manipulate them and stuff. The Biden administration was paying child traffickers.
when put them back with their families when we have the opportunity to do so, and with loved ones that will care for them. And I would say that even in one case, we have other countries where we've been working with them to get their children back home, where we've been prevented returning these families back.
Insane.
And helping them to be reunified by activist judges. But we will continue to work to ensure that these individuals and these children that were abused by the trafficking over the border have the opportunity to be brought back to...
Actually, the pedophile party. Like, it's unbelievable. Turns out, like, they need to put these people in prison. The government was paying individuals that were knowingly trafficking them and abusing them that had stopped. Dog, we have to start putting these people in prison. I'm going to be honest. We have to keep putting more and more pressure on the GOP. Stop being limp dicks, okay? All right? Look, your global policy has been great, all right? I appreciate capturing an El Presidente a month and stuff. You gotta put these fuckers in jail. You gotta. You have to do it. It has to happen. It's not happening fast enough. Right? Swalwell loses his mind, starts giving sob stories.
I went and saw Miguel in Mexico. He doesn't have a job. He's not able to provide. And he said his Spanish isn't even that great because he hasn't been there for 30 years and it's hard for him to communicate.
Well, that sucks.
It's
Not an
bad.
excuse to invade our country illegally. Don't care.
Do you see the
Don't care.
pain of families like...
I don't care. I don't care. Their
No.
pain is irrelevant. Pain sucks. Sorry you're in pain. Leave my country anyway. Dude, oh no, there's a guy in pain after he broke the law. Let's tear up the Constitution. Don't care. Sorry. And it's not...
Spare the criminal, tear up the Constitution. That's what that's all Democrats are. He's in pain. He's in pain. Well, nowadays they'd be like, he's in pain. Let's euthanize him.
Not heartless to say this. This is having a heart. Law and order needs to exist across the board. No one's above the law, and that includes poor Jorge that's in pain after getting deported. Sorry, it's not heartless. This is being a man, okay? Being a real man is sometimes making the hard choices because it's the right choice. And quite literally, the entire Democrat Party has no balls.
Miguel Lopez, someone who did not commit a violent crime, but...
He invaded our country illegally. He's not allowed to be here. We deported him because that was the process he was due. All right? What are we doing?
has been separated from his family and is not providing, is not working.
Congressman,
Do you see that thing?
did he have a criminal record?
Did Mr. Lopez have a criminal record? In 1995, he pled to a lesser non-violent.
Yo! First of all, in my opinion, it's irrelevant if he had a criminal record. I don't care. He broke into the country illegally, he has to go. But this dude also had a criminal record. Dude, the Democrats is the party of pedophiles and criminals. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Charge. But do you see the pain
I do
that
see
somebody...
I do see the pain.
I see the pain. I don't care. I don't care.
I would just been like, nope, I don't see the
Give up
pain.
No.
I see
No,
the
I don't
suffering
care.
of Americans,
I wish people would
not
do
illegals.
things correctly.
Yeah, I wish you would do it correctly also. It's your fault. Skill issue, bro. Skill issue. You could have self-deported. You didn't. Now you're
Is he
deported,
American?
by
No,
us.
you can get out.
That sucks for you. Anyway, moving on.
If they're not in legal status in this country, they can return.
It's like there was a kid that was abused as a child.